Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What we have here today is I guess you could call it a tote purse. I'm not sure exactly what to call it. It's like a handbag that's more like a tote. It's big, it's square, stands by itself. It's got the short shoulder straps as opposed to like a crossbody bag. And this is made from 4 5-ounce Cape Cod Excel oil tanned leather, sourced from Waterhouse Leather in Massachusetts. And this is the color they call copper brown. I've been calling it dark brown, but it's a really nice leather. It's got a really nice finish, really smooth, shiny, and you've got those really nice highlights when it gets bent. So I really like that. So this has been a bit of a process to make, and it's a custom order. It's on order, so it's for a lady. Hopefully she likes it. And if you're interested in making this, I'll give you all the measurements as we go through it, probably, and some of the tips and things that I learned from making it. I wouldn't say it's perfect. This design I used at the end here, it really makes a nice corner, but one of the things I don't like about it is how it finishes off this top corner. Because I fold the side panel over and I stitched it there, it makes the corner, but you can see the top of the side panel up here. It just doesn't quite feel right. I don't quite like that. So that's the only thing I would change a little bit. This has a 4" by 8" pocket on the inside, just a single pocket for pens. And these shoulder straps are just about 12 inches from the top of the bag to here. So that took about a 29, 30" strap to get that 12" clearance there. So thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please like and subscribe, and hope you enjoy the video. So here I'm going to cut out the straps for the shoulder straps. So there's going to be 2 straps, and they're doubled up. So that's going to be 4 straps. I'm cutting them out 5/8 of an inch wide, and I made them about 30 inches long. And I had cut an end cut there, so I could just cut out my straps right to that point. And then this is going to be an end panel section. So this is 4 1/4 inches by 10 5/8. So I want to end up with 10 inches high. So I gave it an extra 5/8 at the top to fold over, to hem over. And the width I wanted nominally 4 inches. So I went 4 1/4 because the seam at the corner takes a little bit more room. So that gives us about a finished width of right about 4 inches. And then for the main panel, we're going 14 1/4 inches wide. So that's a 5/8 fold over at each side. So that adds an 1.25 inches. So we're going to end up about 13 inches wide. And then the length is going to be 10 inches down on both sides. We want about 4 inches along the bottom, because this wraps around from one side all the way down across the bottom and back up the other side. So that's 10 inches plus 10 inches plus 4 inches, which gives us 24 inches. And then another 5/8 for the hem at the top of each side. So that's another 1.25 inches, so that's 25 1/4. I did give it an extra 1/4 inch for the bottom, so I went 25 1/2 inches long. So this main panel piece is 14 1/4 by 25 1/2. And then for the interior pocket, I went 4 inches by 8 inches. And then right now I'm cutting out the other panel piece for the other end. So that's 4 1/4 by 10 5/8. So there we've got all the pieces that we need. We've got our 2 end panels, the main panel, the pocket, and the shoulder straps. So I'm going to go ahead and skive down the tops of all the panels. So this is for the hem that's going to fold over. So I went ahead and made a mark that can rub off later, and I put that at 9/16 from that end, and I tried to put it right at the curve where it folds over. So I gave it an extra 5/8. They only measured 9/16. That's because it takes up a little extra once it folds. So I'm skiving off about 2 centimeters, so about 7/8 of an inch, and that's for folding over all of the tops. So my blade's getting a little bit dull here. I'm having to use a little extra pressure. It has the rubber feeder roll underneath that's supposed to feed it through, but it's going just a little bit hard, and I think we're going to have to sharpen it. But what I usually do, I already sharpened it once today, so I'll just take that knife out and I'll flip it around. So these are the tops of the side panel. I'm going to go ahead and cut out those corners. So this is the part that will fold around the end panel and get stitched. So we just have too much material in there. So I'm going to cut out those corners. Now we're going to go ahead and hem the tops of all the panels. And that's a little soft, it's a little stretchy. So in order to keep my bag from getting too stretchy there, I'm going to trim those corners. So before I hemmed the top of the main panel, I decided I better split down those sides. And you can see right there that knife is getting a little bit dull there. Way too much pressure. The roll can't quite feed it through, and this is sped up, so that's faster than it actually was working. So I'm having to put a little extra pressure on there. You don't want that getting clogged up, getting into the feeder roll, and then it feeds back around and changes your cutting thickness. That's not good. So again, this is being split as well at 2 centimeters, and that's just a little too dull. Let's go ahead and flip that knife around. I was only using half the blade anyway, the front half, so when I flip that blade around, you can see how much smoother this will feed itself through. I don't know if it is. So here I'm stitching together the shoulder straps. I haven't edged them at all. I'm just going to stitch the length of it. I'm going to leave the ends because I'm going to stitch the ends once I fasten it to the bag. So I stitch together, and now I'm going to take an end punch and cut the ends so I didn't have to line them up. You know, if I cut them separately. So now I'm cutting both of them at the same time. I'm edging the shoulder straps with a large 0 size edger. So it'd be more like a number 1. And then I'm going to do a little bit of burnishing on these. This is really the only part that I'm going to burnish. There's really not that many exposed edges on this piece. So first I start by coating it with my leather conditioner, like I usually use, mixed with half water, and give that a little time to dry, and then we do some burnishing on that and try to get a nice slick finish for those shoulder straps. And then we're going to go ahead and stitch those handles onto the top of the bag. We'll do that before we sew the end panels in, because once those end panels are in, you lose a lot of flexibility and maneuverability when it comes to moving around on the sewing machine. So the end panels will be the last thing that we stitch on. So on this end panel, we're going to go ahead and mark a 7/16. I want to fold it over about ½ an inch, but I don't want to be able to see the mark once I've hemmed that over. So I want to cover the mark, so I'm just going to go 7/16, and then we're going to try to cover that up. I'm going to bring the edges of the side panel, the side and bottom panels, all one piece. And that's going to fold around here, and then it's going to get stitched all the way through there. And that's going to make ourselves a nice corner, hopefully, and provide some structure and rigidity. So I've measured 10 inches down both ways from the sides, and what's left is what is going to go on the narrow end of the side panel. I'm going to cut that out with a 45-degree cut on the sides and just square in from the ends there. And what that does is it allows me to make the corner with that side panel. So now what I did is I folded that around. That's the bottom of the side panel. I folded that around and I clamped it together, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm stitching that. Now, arguably, you could have glued this all in place first, but I do not like extra glue. The glue I use it never really dries. It's just always sticky and tacky. So if you get glue on places you don't want it, it's just a mess. So I try to avoid it if I can. And I'm just using clamps, pulling it in place, and then stitching and just doing it that way. So now this is I already did one end. I didn't record everything. I just wanted to make sure I could do this. So now I'm doing the other end, and I'm going down the side. And you can see it's being folded around that end panel, and I was aiming for about a 5/8 fold over total. And you can see those little notches I made, they aren't quite deep enough. I had only gone about a 1/2 inch. So it turns out I needed to go about a 5/8 of an inch in order to make that corner correctly.